This all started with taxes. I had taken the E train out to the last stop in Queens and descended a few crumbling steps into my accountant's drab basement office. Every year, I seemed to interrupt him in the middle of lunch, no matter the hour of our appointment, and this visit was no exception. His right hand deftly directed chopsticks full of sesame chicken into his mouth, while his left tapped numbers into a computer. In a different life, the former musician part of my brain thought, he might have made a decent pianist. I had made barely enough money that year to cover rent and groceries, but I reasoned that barely was pretty good in Manhattan, an increasingly unaffordable borough for artists who once thrived there. I had taken on any and every freelance writing assignment, from churning out SEO clickbait for travel websites to reporting on heat-resistant makeup for a glossy women's food mag. I'd become a veritable pitching machine, developing into overdrive the Minority Report part of one's brain, capable of scanning every new person, place, and piece of news for a potential story angle. Nevertheless, when my accountant added up the numbers, I somehow owed way more money than was in my savings account, which was more of an aspirational idea than a place actual currency resided. $4,000, he said through a mouthful of Chinese food. 4,000? I gasped. 4,000, he said, swallowing. $4,000. The impossible number kept echoing in my head as I wandered back toward the subway. My West 4th Street stop let me off by IFC, my favorite cinema, and I heard my film professor father's voice telling me that the best escape from my anxiety was right there in front of me. I bought a ticket for a movie whose poster gave off a Bonnie and Clyde vibe and settled into the nearly empty theater. At first, my film cure worked. I was distracted by the young lovers' troubled relationship and their hypnotic southern drawls. By the gunfight scene, I was in another world entirely, one where money was made by stealing and nobody owed the government a goddamn cent. But then a handsome sheriff appeared on screen. "Just sit tight a little longer," he told the doe-eyed protagonist. I leaned forward, trying to place the familiar-looking actor as he tipped his cowboy hat and shuffled mustache first out of the woman's ramshackle house. Though he was the strong, silent type, it was obvious from the way he looked at her that he was in love. But there was another man, a dangerous man, and a young daughter in the picture complicating matters. What had I seen him in before? My mind flipped through its movie Rolodex for a few seconds before I realized the serious sheriff was the same wisecracking kid I had known 20 years ago at Interlochen, an intense performing arts camp for kids ages 8 through 18 in northern Michigan. I went there for music, but other campers were actors, dancers, and visual artists. This déjà vu moment happened every 3 or 4 years when I randomly caught Ben in a movie or on TV. He had been an exceptionally good actor, even back when we were kids in a place where unformed talent permeated every humid camp cabin. We all knew when we saw him on stage that it was only a matter of time before he made it. Now 33, Ben was an actor's actor, respected by even the orneriest critics. He was one mainstream breakout role away from becoming a household celebrity name. His success had never bothered me before. Why should it? He was an actor who lived in a dreamy, moneyed, faraway land called Hollywood that had nothing to do with my pursuing music as a kid or creative writing as an adult. I had always delighted in catching glimpses of him over the years, but in that post-taxes moment, I had the gut-punch realization of just how far our artistic paths had diverged. There he was, larger than life, talented, and successful. He had spun all that early potential into a brilliant career. And here I was, wrist-deep in greasy popcorn, wondering how to pay off this debt of mine.